common complaint about the region has always been the lack of local television images. The importance of seeing yourself on television occurred to Danielle Dieffenthaller early on, as she lived much of her early life outside of Trinidad.
When I was about 13, we left Trinidad. My stepfather was a diplomat, and we got posted to Kenya. Through all of our travels, because after Kenya it was Sudan, it was London, it was Toronto, it was France, I became more and more Trinidadian. And one summer after coming home to Trinidad, I turned on the TV and there was this after-school special that everybody on it looked like me. And I thought, oh my God, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. I have to do that. I have to be there.
She returned home at 18 and got a job with the only station at the time, Trinidad and Tobago Television. There was local content, but it was different from Danielle's experience.
At the time, we were used to TV series dealing more with working class folk scenes, folk scenarios. And Danielle decided to do a series, a very successful series, on the middle class group in Trinidad and Tobago. Most filmmakers hadn't really dealt with them because somehow they weren't seen to be part of the psyche of Trinidad and Tobago.
The series was called Westwood Park, but that was very far in the future from TTT, where she worked her way up from the newsroom.
While at the newsroom, I would steal away, run upstairs and sit down in Horace James's office and read all the scripts that he had and harass him and ask him a million questions until I harassed him into hiring me to be a PA on No Boundaries. And that was my first drama production.
From there, she went to film school, then to England and worked on the iconic Channel 4 series The Bandung File with Trinidadian provocateur Darcus Howe. But she didn't want to stay in England and return to Trinidad. It was a decision that would transform the television industry.
I was lucky enough to have met Georgia Popwell and Walt Lovelace, and we just all hit it off, and we decided as three young, impulsive people, we all decided, all right, you know what, we're going to form this company together, the three of us, called Earth TV, and we did. We were asked if we wanted to do this documentary series on the environment.
This was the series EcoWatch, on the environment long before it became a hot topic. And success did not come quickly. There were years of government work and pro bono productions. But from there, she slowly accumulated the resources for Westwood Park. It was groundbreaking in many ways.
One of the things I think that she's done is actually allowed us to begin to see, or at least begin to allow Trinidadians to see themselves. So unconsciously perhaps, what Westwood Park does is that it does give you an insight into the kinds of relationships between the classes and the way in which maybe people from different classes think about each other.
Westwood Park and other shows that Danielle produced reached far beyond Trinidad and Tobago. It reached throughout the Caribbean, Cayman, Bahamas, parts of Africa, and of course the United States. I had a really interesting experience while I was in Manhattan one year. I'd gone into Victoria's Secret and I was just getting to the cash register and the cashier looked at me. Oh my God, you are from Westwood Park. You are Tiffany. And she was so excited. And she said to me that she'd never been to Trinidad and Tobago. Her parents were both from Trinidad and Tobago and that they had told us so much about the country. And when Westwood Park came, it was an opportunity for her to connect with our culture.
Television drama is very, very expensive. And that has put people off for many years. But she was able to divide the costs by making it regional and working with regional advertisers. In the process, she had to deal with the sort of macho executives of the television companies who wanted to grab the whole thing. This woman doesn't want this, we will have it, and she will produce for us. But she didn't have anything to do with that.
It ran for 6 seasons and was followed by other series, but she also turned her attention elsewhere in the industry.
Danielle has always been a pioneering filmmaker, a brave filmmaker. She worked on films, many different types of films. During the coup, none of us knew what was going on. We were all afraid to leave our homes, and Danielle and Walt Lovelace went out into the front line and filmed an important occasion in Trinidad's history.
At the peak of her career, Danielle Dieffenthaller's interest remains in telling local stories, if those stories have changed over time, especially since the turn of the century.
So I started to research what is going on, and started to go to sea lots, go to St. Barb's, go, to various places, Carnage, go around a 5-mile radius of where I live, only to discover that people don't know each other. St. Barb's is not 5 miles from where I live, but except people thought I was foreign because we don't know each other and we don't understand each other. And we have people saying those people or all year, or, it was never us.
Her answer to this is a new series, In Plain Sight, which examines the violence which seemed to engulf Trinidad and the region over the last 2 decades. And if her career has taught her one thing, it's the importance of television.
So I really think we, as a public-private sector, need to invest in images of ourselves, all kinds of images. If people are seeing behaviors expected of them in their society, in their environment, in their country, this is what we do. We sell the idea, and that's what you're doing. You're buying into an idea of how one must behave or can behave in a society.
For these reasons, filmmaker Danielle Dieffenthaller of Trinidad and Tobago has been named the Anthony and Sabga Caribbean Awards for Excellence Laureate in Arts and Letters for 2019.